enigmatic patrons, and welcome to our special Patreon episode of April 2020. Thank you for your continued support during this very difficult time. Your donations mean a lot, and I appreciate them so much. For April's Patreon episode, I wanted to start by sharing an experience that happened to me at work the other day. Small Town Spirits, the fictional miniseries I've been writing, is actually based on some real things in my life. I really worked in a small Midwest town in an old building that used to be a bank, which became the inspiration for Andy's place of employment, the Speckled Sparrow. One day I was at work, thinking of the last scene in Chapter 1 of Small Town Spirits, when Andy gets spooked in the store's upstairs attic. Now, to give you some context here, the store's owner had left her son's toy at the store months before. It was in a sort of old vault-turned-closet with a bunch of old employees' storage cubbies. So I was carrying out my usual work duties, just thinking about that scene and kind of freaking myself out when I heard the toy go off. It's a little helicopter that starts to play music when you move it. It had never gone off on its own before, and I hadn't gone into the closet or walked past it for 30 minutes. It started playing music, and I just froze where I was standing at the front counter. I slowly peeked around the wall down toward the closet. As soon as I looked around the corner, I heard the creak of floorboards come from the direction of the toy. My stomach just dropped, but I made my way over to the storage closet, which was probably not the smartest idea. When I finally peeked my head inside, the toy had stopped playing music. There was, of course, no one there. I was completely alone. Paranormal investigator and Haunted America's resident ghost hunter, Gina Lanier, is best known for her investigations of haunted dolls and other possessed toys. She believes toys, especially teddy bears, are the most commonly possessed items. She concluded that a child's attachment to a toy over time results in a type of love energy transference that can accumulate and respond, or when abandoned, an entity might find the toy as an easy conduit. We've all heard of haunted dolls, like Annabelle and Robert the Doll, but are there other haunted toys out there? Let's take a look at 5 haunted playthings you might have never heard of before. Number 1. In his book, Florida's Ghostly Legends and Haunted Folklore, The Gulf Coast and Pensacola, Greg Jenkins recounts a paranormal investigation at T.T. Wentworth Jr. Museum when a thunderstorm briefly interrupted the power. He writes that in the makeshift toy store display that was filled with different creepy toys and dolls, he and his guide encountered something strange. Soon after a very loud clap of thunder that shook the building, they discovered a toy train lying on its side. He attempted to shrug off the incident as the result of the thunderous rattling of the building, but found it difficult to believe, especially since the museum seemed much colder than it had been prior to the clap of thunder. Number 2. In 2017, the Daily Mail reported that Debbie Merrick bought 3 porcelain dolls at a thrift store in England. Soon after, her husband woke up one morning with small scratches over his legs that Debbie said looked as though they were made by small hands like those of a doll. The smoke detectors in her room continued to go off for no reason. Frightened, Debbie packed up the one doll she believed was causing the disturbances and placed it in a shed. She later sold it on eBay in what turned out to be a bidding war. Upon inspecting the doll, Debbie claims the doll had removed its necklace while being confined in the box. Number 3. The furry red Elmo doll is one of the most successful toys ever sold. Talking Elmo dolls have been a must-have holiday gift since the first one was sold in 1996. Early Elmos giggled when they were tickled. They acquired larger vocabularies as the years went on, but that doesn't explain the Elmo Knows Your Name doll purchased by the Bowman family in 2008 for their 2-year-old son, James. Elmo Knows Your Name was programmed to speak its owner's name, along with a few other phrases. but when the Bowmans changed Elmo's batteries, he started ad-libbing in a sing-songy voice. The doll chanted, "Kill James," most likely to the utter horror of James' parents. Number 4. One eBay listing for a haunted teddy bear read, "My grandmother went to an antique store in San Diego when she was a teen and saw this creepy-looking old teddy bear. She told me when she took Joey home, she started to have nightmares. Joey would be sitting on her desk in one direction, but when she woke up, he would be looking a different way. Sometimes when she would leave her room, she would come back to one of his arms up in the air. She never mentioned this to her mother or father, thinking they would give or throw her bear away. For some reason, she never wanted to give Joey up. For my grandma's 90th birthday, she wanted me to take some of her items, including Joey. After I put him in my room, I started having bad nightmares. I would get up and feel like someone or something was looking at me. Joey's head would move from one direction to another, along with his arms. My kids started crying and begging me to get rid of Joey. I put Joey in our garage and stuff would be moved around or fall. I can no longer have Joey in my house or anywhere near my kids. He's looking for a new home, so hopefully it's yours." The winning bid for Joey was $179.99. Number 5. Owners of what could be the most terrifying toy of all time, Furbies, have related several spooky stories with this furry plaything. Redditor user GRZMNKY wrote, "Well, a friend bought me a Furby as a joke while we were stationed in Germany. The one she got me was red and black and evil looking. Well, fast forward a couple weeks after losing interest in the thing. I'm sleeping and I suddenly hear this demonic, gravelly voice come from my bookshelf. Not the sound of batteries running out, but a seriously demonic voice. I jump up and turn on the lights and search for the sound. I hear it coming from the top shelf, and when I look, nothing is there. Suddenly, I hear the voice behind me, and the little demon is just sitting on top of my wall locker, making strange noises, and then it says, 'Hello, son. I missed you.' I immediately took it out to the burn pit and cleansed it with fire. It screamed as it burned. I can still hear those screams 10 years later." What do you think? Can toys actually become possessed? Have you ever had an experience with a haunted toy? Find us on Instagram at Straight Up Enigmas or Twitter at Straight Enigmas and let us know. Thank you so much for listening to our special Patreon episode of April 2020. Don't forget to check out the first chapter of Small Town Spirits, and be sure to join us for our next brand new episode of Straight Up Enigmas.